the meeting?
I don't see Ron.
I'm here.
Yeah, just added.
Okay.
Oh, all
Good.
I see is a light bulb above your head, and that's not because you're an angel either.
Yeah, it's my halo.
Guys,
It's my halo.
Guys, look at the light. Doesn't it look like he's maybe a halo?
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get this meeting started. It's 7 o'clock, everyone. Good evening, everyone. It is now 7 o'clock. We will start the Eastpointe City Council regular meeting agenda at November 9th, 2020 at 7 p.m.
What do you like? What do else like make an impact on kids' lives? Well,
Can everyone please, if you're not council, mute your phone, please? We don't have any disruptions. Thank you so much. We're going to start with the invocation, starting with our Mayor Pro Tem, Sir Lucido, and we're going to continue with the Pledge of Allegiance right after. Mayor Pro Tem, good evening.
Dear God, we are grateful to live in a country built on democracy. We have the ability to elect our leadership on a national, state, and local levels. Let us not to let the outcomes of these elections divide us, but let us work together to grow stronger and better every day. Today, our city faces a great challenge. We must all come together to help prevent the spread of this terrible virus. Pray for all those who have been affected and especially for those who are battling it. Please help us to make sure we make choices that will keep our loved ones safe along with the loved ones of others. It is in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
To
to the flag
of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
And one nation
under God, indivisible,
with
with liberty and justice for all.
for all.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. You always, again, thank you for your, those prayers that you do at each meeting. They're amazing. We're going to open the meeting up with our presentation from Macron Community Action Services for residents. Do we have that young man here? Because I can't see in the meeting. The one from Macron Community Action is supposed to speak tonight. I'm sorry, you know what, Ms. Doon?
yes.
Since we switched off the meeting, he probably didn't know. I don't know if you talked to him and told him it was tonight instead of Tuesday.
Oh. No, maybe they don't know.
Okay. So we're going to probably contact him and let him know that we changed it because a lot of things were changed. And a lot of people probably didn't know that tonight is the meeting and not tomorrow. So it just gives the residents a little bit of update of what that's about. Macomb County Community Action is a department with the county that does a lot of services for residents as far as helping with utilities and so many other things when you need food. And we were going to actually have him speak. I asked him to come tonight and speak where those residents might need those services and didn't know that they had those services. So again, we'll have him come back next meeting and speak about that, but you also can go to Macomb County's website and find out about those resources as well. We just want to talk, I just want to actually have someone talk to our residents and let them be aware of these services, and actually know the person who's the director over it. So we'll do that next time, but again, anybody that's listening, you can go to Macomb County and also find those on your own if you like. Please, Mr. Fairbrother, call the roll.
Mayor Owens?
Here.
Councilmember Baker?
Here.
Councilmember DeMonico?
here.
Councilmember Lucido?
Here.
Councilmember Curley?
Here.
Thank you. Can we also go back and add in a location for each?
Thank you, Mariah. I don't mean to step on Rich's toes, but yes, per the new law, each of the members remotely has to state the city, state, and county of where they are, where they currently are.
Oh, that's right.
Mayor Monique Owens, Eastpointe, Michigan.
Councilman Harvey Curley, Eastpointe, Michigan.
Rob Baker, Eastpointe, Michigan.
Cardi DeMonico, Eastpointe, Michigan, at my home.
Sarah Lucido, Eastpointe, Michigan.
Okay, thank you. And please, anyone that's going to speak please let me know. I know Ms. Lucido probably sees it. Or just say, excuse me, because sometimes when I'm talking, everyone interrupts and is very rude. So just let me know, say excuse me, and let me know you're going to say something, okay? Next, we go on to the approval of the agenda.
Madam Mayor, I'll motion to approve the agenda for the regular meeting of October 20th, 2020.
Support.
Support.
Moved and supported. Please call the roll. Ms. Doom, Ms. Fairbrother.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Mayor Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Who's calling the roll?
Mariah.
What's her last name?
Walton.
Walton. Miss Walton, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. I want to know who I'm talking to and who's calling the roll so everybody can know also. Now we're going to the hearing of the public. Good evening, everyone. This time you have 3 minutes to speak your concerns, ideas, or et cetera to council, mayor and council. I will be timing you to state your name and residency, and please be respectful to mayor and council and all those that are listening as well. Can someone please, Ms. Walton, I think you're calling everyone that's talking tonight. Can you call the first resident or speaker, please?
Yes. I don't see anything in the group chat.
Okay.
I don't see hands.
I see Mr. Akabetti raising his hand in the video.
There he is. Thank you. Mr. Akabetti?
You're muted though.
Yes, thank you. I am unmuted now. Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Frank Akabetti. I am formerly a resident of Eastpointe and now a new resident of Harrison Township, Michigan. I'm here to speak tonight about your agenda item regarding awarding medical marijuana licenses to facilities based on a lottery. The Planning Commission, the City Council has worked over 2 years to put together an ordinance that would allow for the rehabilitation of vacant properties. It would allow for bringing new investment into the community. And I don't believe that Eastpointe should throw away all that work in what would be a simple lottery drawing. Let's bring new, fresh businesses with to the community. Let's allow people that have been established in the community, current Eastpointe residents or people that have done business in Eastpointe for many years, let's let them open these facilities and not make it by the luck of a drawing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Akabetti. We have anyone else that would like to speak?
Not seeing any other hands raised, and there's nothing else in the chat at this time. Oh, Ms. Doom.
Thank you. I did have an email earlier this week, which I cannot lay my fingers on, but the gist of the message was that a resident has asked me to say that was from a Miss France. There was a question about elected officials and arrears in tax bills or water bills, and just a concern whether a person could be elected if they have these outstanding bills. So I've condensed it a little bit, but that is the gist of it. So just want to share that with you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
And Madam Mayor, there are 2 others. Mr. Eric Moore and Ms. Sylvia Moore have their hands raised.
Thank you. Let's go with the with Ms. Moore. I don't know who's first, so.
Hi, I'm trying to, this is Moore, I'm in Eastpointe. I'm trying to log on with my tablet, which I normally use, but no one will allow me to log in. So I'm on my phone, which will die. I know it will die.
Well, we'll have someone look over that. Ms. Walton, if you can look over that and see what's going on with people logging in. I think someone else told me they had problems. But you still have to, Councilwoman-elect Ms. Moore, you still have till 8 to leave, swear you in. So you have some time to charge your phone up if you like. But if you have to be in this meeting, we are working on some technical difficulties right now. So Ms. Walton or Ms. Doom, if you're at the office or someone is talking on IT.
Yeah, I don't know about IT, but Otis has this meeting set up, and so he'll be taking a quick look at what is preventing her from joining us.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Ms. Moore. We had another young man. Yes, yes, sir.
Because I'm co-hosting with Elke on the Zoom here, letting people in. If I could just let Sylvia, I've let you in a few times. It seems like it keeps kicking you out and then it shows back up. So I don't know why that is, but I do see your name showing up. Like I see it right now. We just admitted you back in again.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay.
I don't know if you can figure that out then or charge it or something.
You may have seen that it says Sylvia's bandwidth is low. That just came across my screen.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Councilwoman-elect.
Okay.
Thanks. We have a young man on the phone that's also waiting to speak. How you doing tonight, sir? Is he still there?
Hello?
Yeah, we
How
can
you
hear
doing
you.
tonight, sir? Can you please state your name and your residency, sir, please?
Hello?
Yes, sir. We're ready for you to speak. Please state your name and your residency.
Chris Ayala Warren. It's not working. The Zoom meeting, I can't get into the Zoom meeting, so it's allowing me audio on the phone only.
Okay, well, we can hear you. If you want, did you want to speak or no?
Sure. Let's.
You don't have to speak. We thought you had something to say.
Yes. It's in regards to the medical marijuana proposed ordinance, and I echo the same sentiments as Frank Accavetti.
Okay. That was all you want to say, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, thank you for attending. We have anyone else?
Yeah, we have Mr. Eric Moyer also, Madam Mayor.
Good. Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Moyer.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. My name is Eric Moyer, current business owner in Eastpointe, resident of Grosse Pointe. I am here tonight to discuss the selection of cannabis licenses for Eastpointe. Council tonight is considering an amendment to switch from the merit-based approach to a random lottery system for the selection of the 3 cannabis licenses. With the lottery system, Eastpointe has no control over selecting an experienced, well-financed operator with a proven track record of safe, compliant, and successful operation in this highly regulated industry. Eastpointe should use a competitive process, and it is in the city's best interest to do so. It ensures Eastpointe selects the best and most experienced operators. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your comment and coming in tonight. We have anybody else, Mr. DeMonico, since you're one of the
Sure. Yeah, there is someone named Mark with their hand raised.
Good evening, Mr. Mark. You have 3 minutes, sir. Please state your name and your residency. Good evening, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Okay. Yes, I'm a resident of Bingham Farms, and we have property in Eastpointe. And what I am concerned about, I understand the lottery system and why that might be appealing. But I do agree that having something that has at least checks. Everybody's got their own agenda, and somebody with vacant land wants to score more points than somebody that's got a vacant building that's been sitting there, et cetera, et cetera. But I think that if you can make the qualifications stringent, you will get the best, most qualified applicants. Do the point scoring and whose agendas are being met by that point scoring.
Anything else, sir?
Nope.
Thank you for coming in tonight and speaking about the marijuana issue. We appreciate it. Anyone else? Mr. Monaco.
That's all I see. I don't see anybody with their hand raised in the participants window, nothing in the chat window, and I don't think I see anyone raising their hand on video either.
Okay, thank you. The first hearing of the public is now closed. We will be going to the approval of the minutes.
Yeah, Madam Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I would move that we accept the minutes of the regular meeting of October 20th, 2020.
Support.
Moved and supported. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Mayor Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido.
Yes.
Thank you. We have no scheduled hearings. Next item is unfinished business on the discussion on the proposed changes to ordinance number 1184 to amend chapter 10 buildings and building regulations, medical marijuana facilities, items number 9 and 10. Council.
Sure, Madam Mayor, I'll go first if you'd like me to.
Please, thank you.
So everyone, you probably reviewed the changes from Mr. Albright here, and a lot of them, of course, are very minor. We changed the to the building official on a lot of things and fixed a couple other typographical items. Myself, I'm okay with all those changes. And then when it gets to page 12, I think is where there's then two other differences that we discuss. One is where it changes from the city council being the person to hear, well, the group to hear appeals, to a hearing officer instead. And then the last paragraph that's changed in there discusses the lottery system. And to make it simple for me, I agree with all of the changes other than the paragraph starting with all permit applications that are denied and comply, or not denied and comply, you know, the lottery system, that whole paragraph there. I agree with it all but that. I don't think we should do the lottery system and instead should allow the committee to do some sort of point system or some system to find the best. And if there is a tie, then maybe at that point they could do a lottery system, but not from the beginning. So that is my thoughts on these ordinance changes.
Council, thank you, Councilman DeMonico. I was going to say let's table this to our next meeting due to the fact we just had a long election and we have a new councilwoman that was just elected. I would like her to look over some of these things and be a part of the discussion. So I think if we table it to next council meeting, I don't think that'll give her some time to look over it and have some say-so in this discussion. Council?
I would not be opposed to that.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
If I may, you know, we've been working on this for a really long time. Mr. Baker's been with us for the last year. So, I mean, even giving our new councilwoman-elect the opportunity to look over it, she's only going to have a week because our next meeting is next Tuesday. I really don't want to prolong it too much longer. I personally would rather use Mr. Baker only because he's been working on this for at least the last 11, 12 months.
Well, when he came and was appointed by council, we were actually doing it too. So he didn't have that much experience doing it. And so I just want her to be able to look over it as well and be a part of the process as well. Like I said, it's the next meeting. So, you know, when we have a new council member come in to council, and we're doing an ordinance such as this, I would like them to be part of the process.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, sir.
This is Harvey.
Yes, sir. No.
No, that's all right. You're on the telephone. You can't see who it is.
Okay.
I agree with Sarah as well. I've been working on this for a year because I was elected last November, and some of you have been working on this for the entire 2 years that the Planning Commission was still working on it. I'm not sure that a new council member having 6 days would be able to read all the hundreds of pages of documents and be prepared to vote on an incredibly difficult and important issue such as this is. So Rob's been on the council for a year himself, so he's pretty well up to speed on that. Have nothing against Sylvia, but I just think this would be a big load for her to try to get up to speed to make a decision next Tuesday.
I somewhat agree and disagree because she's also on the Planning Commission, and the Planning Commission was a big part of this. And since she's on the Planning Commission and she's now our new councilwoman, I feel like she would catch up really quickly, so I don't put nothing past her. She's also a resident, so any resident can also understand what's going on as well. So I don't think, if she's been catching up and been reading up about what's going on, like any other resident of a community would know what's going on. Just like outside people of our city know what's going on with this. She's also on the Planning Commission, and now she's a councilwoman. So I would have liked her to be a part of the discussion. Well, if council doesn't want our new councilwoman to be a part of this new discussion, then let's move forward.
Mayor, Mayor, if I may?
Yes, sir.
Is that me or?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, just listening to what you said and listening to what Councilwoman Lucido said and Councilman Harvey, my thing is I've been following this even since before I was on council. So to say that one person can catch up, I mean, I'm not denying that she can, but in the same breath to say that it's all new to me and then to say that she could catch up, well, I'm up to speed on it as well, and I have been even since before I was on council. So, right. I mean, I'm okay with if the rest of council wants to make a motion for the said changes as mentioned by Councilman DeMonico, I'm not opposed to that either. But I think at this point we just need to decide what we want to do, and rather than going back and forth of who should vote on it or who shouldn't. So.
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
I just wanted to comment on Councilman DeMonico's proposed changes. And I just wanted to let the rest of the council know that I do agree with him on everything that he has proposed, accepting all of the changes that were brought to us with the exception of moving to a lotto system.
So all the council doesn't want to go to a lottery system? We all agree on that?
I didn't hear the question, Madam Mayor.
I'm sorry. So all of council agrees not to go forward with the lottery system.
Yes, excuse me, if I may, Madam Mayor. No, I am definitely against the lottery system. I think the committee that we set in place. I'm a guy in the positions I've had when I want to hire somebody. There's two things that I look for. I look for their body language when I'm asking a question or when they're speaking to me, and I look right into their eyes. You can't do that with a ping pong ball. A ping pong ball has number 27 on it. You can't ask that ping pong ball a question. I know it's a lot more work for the administration, but I believe by what Cardi said that we're going to get somebody that we want because of the conversation. And as far as the appeal is concerned, I agree with what Cardi said, that committee should be, we should have, for the appeal, we should have a hearing officer. We can get somebody from another city. We can get somebody from our own city, but it should not be the council for the appeal. It should be one person that would be a hearing officer for that. But yeah, I would definitely not be in favor of the ping pong balls in a bucket.
Okay.
Mayor, if I may also.
Yes, sir.
Just for some clarity, I mean, the purpose of tonight's meeting, my understanding, and I believe the rest of council's understanding, was to finish old business before Ms. Sylvia Moore started, and her place was to start with new business, and that's the protocol. So I think just to follow protocol, that I think for us to make this, to decide on the proposed changes would just be the right thing to do.
Well, we're past that conversation. We're voting about what we're going to do something else, sir. And I'm very aware of protocol. I got fired when on protocol, so thank you. Let's move forward.
I understand. Well, I'm just for some clarity, because no one made a motion for us to go to vote, so that's what I was waiting to hear.
Okay, thank you.
Madam
I think hearing council and what you said, Councilman Baker, and all the council, I think we're going to move forward and go ahead and go with what Mr. DeMonico said and not do the lottery system.
Correct detail.
Sure. So yeah, Madam Mayor, can I restate the motion then? And actually, I think I have a, I don't know if maybe compromise even, or it's not a compromise, but we have to have 2 readings. So actually, Ms. Moore will be on the second reading. So if we pass the first reading tonight,
right,
change the ordinance. So, okay, yeah, I'd motion to make the changes proposed by Mr. Albright about the typographical changes and from city council to a hearing officer for the appeals, but remove the paragraph about the lottery system. And I'll just read that paragraph so we know exactly what we're talking about removing. It's the all permit applications that are not denied and comply with all the requirements for an application in this article and the zoning provisions of the Code of Ordinances shall be accepted and known as qualified applicants. All qualified applicants will be entered in a lottery to determine which of those permit applications will be accepted and issued a permit. The first lottery held pursuant to this article shall take place on a date determined by the city council by resolution. So we'll just remove just that part, and I'd motion that we approve the rest of the pieces.
I support that.
Okay, thank you. Moved and supported. Please call the roll. Ms. Walton?
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
I'm sorry, did you say Curley?
Yes.
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Mayor Owens?
No.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Next item is discussion on tree lighting.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Harvey again.
Okay.
Again, don't worry about it. You're on the phone.
Okay.
I could disguise my voice. You wouldn't know who it was.
I know your voice.
Thank you. Let me get serious for a moment. As of last week's report on the virus, there were 709 of our citizens who contracted the virus. And we have lost 37 of our citizens to the virus. 37. Don't know what that figures will be next week, but we've been averaging about 30 each week with the number of people who've gotten the virus. I don't think that there's one person that sits at that table with the council and the mayor that would want to see anybody in our city get the virus and die, or even just get the virus. And I am, to be perfectly honest with you, Mayor and Council, I'm petrified that if we have people outside even and coming there with or without a mask, and it's going to be almost impossible to say that they have to have a mask. They might come there with one, but they'll take it off if they want to do something or sing or whatever. None of us would want to find out that because we had that event that somebody caught the virus and got very serious and went home, and grandma or grandpa got the virus. It's a special event. I know it's a special event, but Madam Mayor, I just don't think it's, I don't think of a responsibility that we have to our 32,000 or so citizens that at this point in time in our history with the virus, and it's getting worse. I mean, 1,000 people a day are dying, and 100,000 a day in the country are getting the virus. So as much as we would like to have the Christmas tree lighting, in order to have more discussion, Madam Mayor, if you allow me, I would make a motion that we would cancel the tree lighting ceremony for the year 2020.
I'll support that motion.
Any other discussion on this, council? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Mayor Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next item is reports from administration, starting with our city manager, Ms. June. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor. I'll keep this brief because we have an 8 o'clock meeting, but this has been this past week has been a busy one. We're wrapping up from one of the biggest elections in American history. Some will say the largest. We had 18,115 residents vote. And that's over 18,000 ballots that our employees, our part-timers, full-timers, all the people who came together, our employees from different departments. I'm proud to say that we processed them the same, well, I would say the same evening, but it ended about 6 a.m. But we were able to process that many. We did not have any issues. As we read all over the country, we had one heck of a great team. Kudos to Kimmy Rich. She's kind of the ringleader of the clerk's department. She really keeps things going, as do many of the other staff. And I'm very tired today, so I'm kind of got a bit of a memory lapse. I need to thank more people, but she has really worn herself out, and she's at home getting a well-deserved rest. We did have almost a 65% turnout rate, which is very, very high for an election. Some elections you might see 10, 11%. So we really, really worked very hard. And we are closed Wednesday for Veterans Day. And as you know, we're closed to the public on Friday. And that makes the decision I made earlier today a little bit easier. We've had so many folks in the building, they're, workers voting and whatnot, and COVID is on the rise, and we're well aware of that, not only in Eastpointe, around the entire country. And so we've had elected to have some of our workers who've been in contact with a lot of folks are all being tested for COVID for safety's sake. And we are now closed to the public, and we plan to reopen on Monday. The City Hall is going to have a good cleaning. They've got all those terms for it, but definitely want to do a deep cleaning of City Hall. And we also are going to move on to a few other buildings because we're having spouses of our workers come down with COVID. We're hearing of not only spouses, family members, and children who had gone back to school. So we're taking a lot of precautions as we clean our buildings, and we request that our employees get tested for our community safety and for their safety. So this has been posted on Facebook, and we thank the community for understanding that it is in the best interest for everyone's health to just close the building and get it clean. The cleaners are going to move on tomorrow and do the same thing as a precaution in the library and also at Public Works. I know the police and fire department are doing a deep cleaning on their own, but they certainly have the option of having a professional firm come in and clean for them. So we're just being extremely safe. And that's all I have for today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we're going to hear from our Director of Finance, Mr. Randy Blum. Good evening.
Yes, Madam Mayor and Council. I have nothing specific related to finance. I would, however, like to congratulate Rob Baker on his time on council. I have enjoyed working with him, and I hope you're not a stranger after tonight. But other than that, I don't have anything, so unless council has questions, go ahead.
Any questions, council, for Ms. Doom or the Finance Director? I'm sorry.
No.
Okay, thank you. We have our City Attorney, Mr. Albright. Good evening.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of Council. Council's in receipt of our monthly status report. I'm happy to answer any questions regarding that report. We've already covered the proposed amendments to the city's medical marijuana facilities ordinance. I will have the ordinance that went through a first reading tonight in ordinance form for next Tuesday's meeting. The third item that I wanted to discuss is back several meetings ago, there was a discussion about amending section 2-346, which deals with and provides for appointments to committees, boards, and commissions. I have drafted some amendment language to that section. It would read, and I believe that this is in line with what the council was looking for. It would read, the old language states, where no provision is made by ordinance or statute for methods of appointment of members of any committee, boards, commissions, appointments shall be made by the city council. And then the new language would also read, no proposed appointments for any committees, boards, or commissions shall be placed on the agenda for consideration at a council meeting unless notice thereof was filed in the office of the Secretary of Council by 12 o'clock noon on the Friday preceding such meeting. If the council is interested in setting that for a first reading, I can have that ready for next Tuesday's meeting as well.
Okay.
That's good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions or concerns for our attorney, council?
No, only, Madam Mayor, that, yeah, I'd be ready. I'm sure the council would for the first reading on the 17th.
I hope so. Anything life-changing doesn't happen to me, I will be ready. So you get a chance, you can send that over to all of council.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Thank
Will
you,
do.
sir.
You're welcome, Madam Mayor. I'm happy to answer any questions if any of the council members have any questions.
Yeah. Mayor, that had one quick comment.
Yes, sir.
That actually the same thing as Mr. Curley, though. Mr. Albright already asked Ms. Doom to put it on our next agenda, so that's perfect then. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. From the reports from our administration, awesome administration at that. I'm bragging. So we're going to new business, council. Starting with item A under new business, the Smart Municipal and Community Credit Contract for the fiscal year 2021. Yes, ma'am.
I will motion that the City Council approve the municipal credit and community credit contract for fiscal year 2021 and authorize the city manager to execute the document.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any discussion on this? Anyone? Seeing none, please call the roll. Ms. Walton.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Mayor Owens?
Yes, thank you. Next item is the approval of MERS, the 401 Administrative Agreement. Council.
Madam Mayor,
Yes,
I will motion to approve the MERS 401A administrative agreements.
Support.
Any questions on this, council? Concerns? Seeing none, please call the roll. Have motion and support.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Mayor Owens?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Next item C, approval of the MIDC 2021 grant contract.
Madam
Council?
Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I will motion to approve the MIDC 2021 grant contract and authorize the city manager to execute all necessary documents.
Support.
Any conversation or concern, council? Seeing none, I have motion and support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Mayor Owens?
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Next item is item D, removal of Parks Commission member due to a lack of attendance. Council?
Madam Mayor, I will motion to remove Miss Deonda Easley from the Parks Commission due to lack of attendance.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any concern on this, council? Seeing none, I have motion and support. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Mayor Owens?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
The next item on discussion is a grant writer. This is something I put on the discussion. I think I have Ms. Holman. Ms. Holman, are you here? Is Ms. Holman on the line?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm going to get started why I put it on here, and you can probably add to why I put it on here. I know you did some research on a grant writer. I think it would be an asset to Eastpointe to find grants for our community, grants that's out there that we don't know a lot about. And it's people that's out there that are professionals, and they do this for a living. And so since they do this for a living, they have better research techniques, and they know they get paid based on finding grants, so that makes them really do it. So can you tell council more about why this is important and what options do we have?
Yes, I can, and I actually provided Ms. Doom with the memo. I think that grant writing is very important. The one caveat I have is that, and grant writing is very important, and I went on to a number of different job searching websites and search engines. They pay anywhere from $15 to $17 per hour to up to $65,000 salary, but those are much bigger companies such as health systems, almost, not the nonprofits for sure. My one caveat is that municipalities are very limited in the types of grants they can apply for, unlike nonprofits. Most of the grants for the government come through HUD or the state or the county. And those requirements are basically more in the reporting, in the audit and compliance requirements than in the in searching for grants. I do think it is very important. We have been making some great relationships with the state as far as both our RRC recertification. There's some other grants that are coming through, and with the county. I'm not sure if this is something that could be perhaps added to the responsibilities of our current public information officer. I think it's an important role. I think some of the requirements are, again, more in the reporting, but it is definitely something that should be on the forefront.
Council, any discussion?
Madam Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
So my biggest concern with it is like long-term budgeting issues. First of all, I think that if we were to go ahead and approve a grant writer, we should wait until June, because I think these kind of decisions should always be made at budget unless there's some sort of emergency situation where we need to amend our budget. I think that it's more appropriate to have these kinds of discussions during budget meetings. But also with that said, I don't know if hiring a grant writer would be that worth of an asset, because I think between Ms. Holman and Mr. Marucci and Mr. Abrams, that we do have people who have the ability to write grants for us and to do some of that research for the grants that would be available in our city.
Yeah, I understand. I hear what you're saying, but if you have the same person that you just said does a good job on grant writing, they just said that having an additional grant writer would be good. So I'm not saying that Ms. Holman isn't amazing, but just as amazing as she feels that a grant writer is not, she doesn't write grants for a living. Ms. Holman is our economic developer. So that's not her job to always find grants. So this person is assigned, their main job is, their assignment is to find grants for the city of Eastpointe. Outside grants, educational grants, and might also find grants that would benefit our high school and our schools. And that's what people go to school for and are very well educated in research to find these things. And the people that we work for, just like we got an informational system. Eastpointe is changing. In order for us to change, we have to change and do things, and we need money to change things. Just like we need an informational system, and we have one, just like we have a lot of things that we didn't have before. It's making our reputation and our image look better, and we need certain things. So, and I understand that, I don't know about, I don't agree with what you said. It doesn't look appropriate to bring up a grant writer. As a mayor, it's my job to make sure I'm proactive on what I see, what we need, and we can put it on the agenda for us to start looking into that. So I think that, I don't think that should have been said. But like, again, our job is to find out, be proactive, knowing that people have lost jobs and we're losing businesses. So talking about being proactive and bringing money to our city is something we need to talk about right now. Now, when you say bring it to our budget, that is something we can discuss on our budget, but it's something that we need to discuss now to get it in our heads so we can start doing research. So when it's time for budget, the research will be done in finding a grant writer. That's what our job is as council, is to be proactive on our city and what the needs of our city is. That's protocol. So this is just a discussion. Anybody else have anything to say about this? Seeing none. Ms. Holman, when you get a chance, can you give us additional information on grant writing? It's two different ways to pay for a grant writer, by the hour, or if they find a grant, we pay them. So it's two ways to find a grant writer and how we pay them, two avenues on how to pay them. And also, we can also get a grant writer, a person out of college that might want to do an internship but might do it for free. So let's not limit ourselves. There's so many opportunities and things like that. And that's our job to find those opportunities. Or someone that might want to do it and work for a government entity and have that on their resume. So Ms. Holman, if you get a chance, can you look into these and give us these options? So when it's time for us to do budgeting, we can know what we're looking for, and we might not even have to pay for anything. So when you get a chance, if you can look that up for council, I would appreciate it, because I know you already did some research. You put it in the packet, and I think it would be a benefit. I mean, we got new council. We're going to have new council next year. Our city is changing, and the mindset, our ideas are changing. So in order to do change, we have to have people on our team that's ready for those moves. Some people are not ready. Some people are. But the city is ready to move forward. So going next, next item is discussion on possible motion on the ice skating rink. Now this is something else that I put on here, but I'm going to actually not talk about this because we just canceled our tree lighting due to COVID. And since the numbers are increasing, I'm going to actually not even want to talk about this, but it might be something that we can do for next year. They gave us a good price. And the reason I wanted to do an ice skating rink in the DDA area is because it was something new to Eastpointe. I think they did it years ago, probably before I was born, but I wanted to bring it to the DDA. I think it would be a good thing to bring to the city. I know we talk about COVID-19 and a lot of people are dying, but a lot of people, the crime has risen on top of the COVID-19. Suicides are on the rise, domestic violence is on the rise, and getting people outside doing something active, COVID-friendly at that, was something that was I was thinking about for our community. This whole event was COVID-19 safe. It was outside. Everybody was going to wear masks. It's only limited 50 people, and each person would have to have masks, and their temperature is going to have to be checked and things like that. But since we are canceling the tree lighting, I think we're just going to cancel all events till next year. So we're going to go ahead on to item G, discussion on possible motion on a face mask policy, which was brought upon our Mayor Pro Tem, Ms. Lucido. Do you want to start, Ms. Lucido?
Yes, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to have the discussion about like city employees, anyone that works for the city or contracted with the city, just making sure that when they are not only communicating with the public, but also in like public areas of, you know, whether it be like City Hall or the library and public areas of the library, that they are following, you know, by following a policy of wearing a face mask properly while they're engaging with anybody in the public, because I think we really need to step up and we need to represent how important it is and kind of, you know, lead by example when it comes to the community.
I agree, because this is the same motion, this is the same discussion I put on council in the beginning when it was COVID-19. I asked council to put a policy together, and I also asked us to create a task force built on COVID-19, and everybody said no. So being proactive is one thing I've done since this COVID-19. So we're just putting it back on. This is something I talked about a long time ago, council.
No, I agree, Madam Mayor. I'm not disagreeing with you. I know at that time, I didn't know we would have to take these steps to make an actual policy. I was kind of hoping that everyone would just do their part to follow the state guidelines. So that's why, you know, moving ahead, I just thought it was important that maybe we actually vote on a policy and, you know, put it in place.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Harvey again. You know, when you think about this, I'm thinking it comes down to one important factor, in my opinion. It comes down to the reaction and the thinking of the person that you're waiting on. Whether it's paying a water bill and you have your mask on, that person, whether you got a glass, a plastic thing in between you, I think it automatically makes that customer feel better and more confident with our people. That's just, I just thought I'd throw that out, Madam Mayor.
Oh, I absolutely agree with all of council. I even would take it a step forward, and if we had somebody assigned to the door and check people's temperatures when they came in City Hall. I know people that do that at a lot of public facilities. So not even wear masks, but checking their temperature when they come in. If their temperature is not correct, then we're going to ask them, can they come back in the, you know, next time or something like that. So, I mean, I agree with the face mask policy and but, you know, however it's going to be written, I believe Mr. Albright will put something together. Mr. Albright?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
You'll put something together that we will see before we vote on this, correct?
If the council directs me to draft a proposed face mask policy, I would be happy to do so. I would just ask for what exactly the council would like to see in such a policy. So that would provide me then with some direction to put it into the format for a policy that could be voted on.
Okay, well, can you find us some similar face mask policies that we can look at?
Yes.
Ms. Lucido probably already have some that she might want you to start with to add into it, but if you can find us some similar ones to look at, we can add and subtract from that. Okay. That's okay with you.
I'd be happy. What I will do is I will locate and circulate face mask policies that are either in existence or proposed face mask policies. I'll circulate those to the City Council, and the Council may then want to just table this discussion to next week's meeting, and by that time the Council will have in their possession copies of the various face mask policies, and then a discussion can be had then what type of language or conditions would be acceptable for the City of Eastpointe.
How is that, Mayor Pro Tem and Council?
Madam Mayor, yes, I'm basically just looking for, like, anytime, you know, any city, anyone that works for the city, you know, including, you know, us, I guess, engages with the public, you know, they just keep their mask on, you know, like Mr. Curley said, like, even if you're behind the glass, I think it just shows, you know, a little bit of, you know, like I said, leading by example. Like, even if you are behind the glass at like the cashier's window, you put it on when you walk up to the desk, just so it makes the community feel safer. And I want them to feel safe going into City Hall. I don't want anyone to be concerned when they see, you know, employees walking around the foyer without masks on or anything like that, because I know that Councilman DeMonico and myself have had multiple complaints about it. And so I just thought it would, you know, be a good idea to put something in writing.
Yeah, and Madam Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sure. Yeah, if I could just comment, and I guess to be frank, I really only wanted to bring this forward because I don't understand why I was at City Hall on election day and employees were not wearing masks. I think every voter I saw basically was wearing a mask. So I don't know what's going on, but city administration's not requiring masks of employees or employees all day long. And I asked about it, not wearing masks. So that's why I wanted to bring this forward. But I thought just something as simple as just voting on following the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services guidance, because that is, even with all these changes with the Michigan Supreme Court and everything, is still law under like pandemic laws. You know, the whole thing about state of emergencies is like it's like a very fine line between all these different laws, but masks are still supposed to be worn. You know, it says specifically over nose and mouth, so they need to be worn properly also. In gatherings of 2 or more people, including stores, offices, schools, and events, businesses cannot admit people without masks with few exceptions, according to this infographic from the MDHHS.
Okay, Mr. Albright, I think you can look at the CDC and find some guidelines with that as well. So.
Yes, that's helpful. I will find some policy language and circulate that to the council for consideration at next Tuesday's meeting.
Okay, that sounds good. And Ms. Jones.
Yes, ma'am.
I know it has to be hard to wear a mask for 8 hours plus, especially sometimes it's hard for people to wear for an hour or two. Can we find some masks that are breathable? I don't know if the masks that we pass out to the public are breathable, because I've seen you administer. I think we work really hard doing the very best that we can, making sure that our employees are 6 feet apart and have masks and things like that. But can we see if there's some better masks out there that I know Mr. DeMonico wasn't going to wear it for 8+ hours, but I know sometimes it's hard to wear those masks. Can we find some masks that is more breathable, that they can, you know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but I do want to clarify one point, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but part of our laws in election law was that people who came to vote did not have to wear a mask, and we could not force them to. So we were extremely appreciative of all the people who came into City Hall to cast their vote, sit down the day of election, and even pre-voting, getting their ballots in, that most of our community cared enough to put their masks on, but they all walked in maskless. There was nothing we could have said. So we do, I've had to remind quite a few folks, make sure you put your mask on. They pull it down for a quick moment and then don't think again about it. So we do have to find something more comfortable, because the ones we have now, I'm going to have people keeling over. The ones who tried to wear them for about 6 hours or so during election started to feel pretty lightheaded. So I'll do a little bit more research as to what's out there.
Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, it's Harvey again.
Okay, yes, sir.
Here's what I'm hearing, and I hope I'm hearing that I don't think anyone is suggesting that somebody at a desk that is doing paperwork and on the computer needs to wear their mask over their face and their nose. I think we're talking about when they walk up to the counter and say, "May I help you?" "Yeah, I want to pay my water bill," or whatever. I'm sure, and unless, Sarah, you can clarify that, but I don't think I hear that you have to wear your mask the entire 8 hours that you're at work, only when you're communicating and taking care of a customer. Is that right?
Yes, Madam Mayor, if I may, that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
I don't expect any of the employees to wear their mask for the full 6 hours. Or 8 hours, their shift, or 9-hour shifts. I think they're actually working 9-hour shifts. But I don't expect that. I really do just expect, like, when you're engaging with the public, to put it on, you know, before you go up to the window. And I know sometimes it's hard to remember, but maybe they can put a sign up on their desk that says, remember your mask, or, you know, something like that, just to make sure, and, you know, enforce that, you know, to, if administration could, you know, then enforce it to the employees. Like, you know, I think after they start wearing it every time they go up to the windows, they'll get more into the habit. Just like we've all become in the habit of making sure when we walk into the store, we have it. Do we sometimes still forget it in the car? Of course. And then we're walking back, but it's just about getting into that habit of doing it instead of never doing it.
Okay, sounds good to me. So Mr. Albright will be looking that up, and we'll talk more about that at our next meeting. How does that sound, Council?
Perfect.
Sounds great. What's next?
Payrolls and bills, moving right along. Council?
Madam Mayor, I'll motion to pay the bills in the amount of $1,778,045.26.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any conversation on this? Any opinions? Seeing none, have motion and support. Please call the roll, Ms. Walton.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Mayor Owens?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have our second hearing of the public is now open. Do we have any residents, business owners, or outside people that would like to speak at this time? You have 3 minutes. Please state your name and your residency, and let me know when you're ready. Ms. Walton or Mr. DeMonico?
Good. What's up?
Are you home? Are you?
Can you, hello, can people please put their phones on mute? We are on a live council meeting.
Yeah, Madam Mayor, I just muted that person. Sorry. I'm trying to get everyone here. But we do have Ms. Kleinfeld and Ms. Richardson with their hands raised.
Okay, we're going to start with our County Commissioner. Congratulations. Ms. Kleinfeld, please.
Thank you. First of all, I'm very happy to hear that Macomb Community Action is going to be coming to speak. We voted on a number of things today with regard to utility bills and actually internet access and iPads for people that are in school and things. So I'm really happy that they're going to be coming to Eastpointe to talk to the residents so they know what's available to them. The reason I'm really here this evening is I want to thank Councilman Baker for his service this year. He's been a voice of reason, and he has had a demeanor that I should aspire to as an elected official, because I can be a little hot-headed sometimes, and really has acted with a great amount of professionalism. And I just wanted to thank you for your service on Eastpointe City Council, and I'm going to miss you. So thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Do we have, who was the next resident on the phone?
Eddie Richardson. You can go ahead.
How are you tonight? Good evening.
You're muted, Ms. Richardson.
Good evening, Ms. Richardson.
I think she's
Good
looking for the
evening,
mute button.
Mayor. I'm so glad to be able to be here tonight. And I would like, first of all, to thank those who decided to fix up Stricker. I'm very pleased with the front and everything, the sidewalks and everything. They did an excellent job, even to the point that DET came and dug in my yard. But, and I was about to call, but surely they came right out, gave their card, and did an excellent job fixing everything back the way that it was, and told me that if anything else occurred, that I could call them and they will come out and do what they were set out to do. But my backyard is still not done. my backyard is still not done. And it's getting fall, and they say it's going to start raining. And when that happens, that backyard starts filling up with water, and then my basement flood. So I'm just trying to find out what can be done with that backyard.
Ma'am, thank you. First of all, thank you for attending the council meeting. But if you would email Ms. Doom, our city manager, with your address and those issues, and we will definitely get back with you and see what's going on.
Now, I've emailed already. I've talked with the Richard company, and a couple of them came out, and another person said they were going to come out as well, and I haven't seen anyone. But now I have not sent anything to Mr. Jones, to Miss Jones.
Ms. Jones.
Right.
Our city manager. Yes,
right.
Ma'am. It sounds like you talked to the companies, but you haven't directly talked to anyone on the mayor, the council, or any of our administration.
Well,
so let's start there. Okay.
Well, okay, but I did send an email to you. And
did you?
Pictures. Yes, and some pictures.
And you talked to no one when you sent it to me?
Yes, ma'am. But
Can you resend it, please?
I'll go ahead and send some to Miss Jones.
Doom.
Okay.
Yes, eDoom, EDOOM at eastpointcity.org. If I got it and I didn't reply, I didn't see it. I apologize. Okay. Yes, because I usually respond, or I send it to Miss Doom. Miss Doom knows I sent her all those complaints, so she handles it ASAP. When I send her something, she gets right on it. So please send it. Again, that's E as in egg, D as in dog, OO as in orange, and M as in Monique at eastpointcity.org, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you so much. Thank you for letting us know we're doing a good job, and we're going to do a better job.
All right.
With your help. Okay. Thank you. Do you have anybody else on the hearing for the hearing of the public?
Yes, Mayor. There's Michael Jones, Mike Kleinfeld, and Mary Hall Rayford next.
Okay, we're going to do ladies first. We're going to do Miss Rayford. Good evening.
Good evening. I hope everyone can hear me. I've been having some difficulty with microphones lately, but just wanted to say to Councilman Baker, I have a great deal of admiration for your tenor and tone and addressing the concerns and listening to the residents. I appreciate that, as do many others. And you know, we hope for the best for you. We're going to miss you because we know that in you, we had a true champion for the residents. And I hope that this will not be the last time that we see you as a public servant. Thank you very much for your service.
Thank you, Ms. Rayford. We're going to go to Mr. Jones. Good evening, Mr. Jones.
Good evening.
Hello, Mr. Jones.
Can y'all hear me now?
How you doing, sir?
How y'all doing?
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to say, was everybody aware that Eastpointe High School is 8-0, and then they're playing against Martin Luther King High School this Friday at 7 o'clock, which is going to be an extremely, very large game for them today. Especially myself, I have Pop Warner teams where I have some of my kids I've seen since they were 6 years old are going to be playing in this game, very important game this Friday. And I've been to several games, and I would like to see some of these city council people at these games representing Eastpointe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I came to a couple games. I think we're going to do better with that. I think council agrees. And you're right. We need to support our one high school in our city that majority of council has actually our alumni at. I'm not alumni there, but I support that school because it's in my city. And those are my kids. So next we have Mr. Kleinfeld. Good evening.
Good evening, Mike Kleinfeld, Eastpointe resident. First, I just wanted to say hats off to our clerk's department for pulling off another election. I know this one was very busy and stressful for them, and I really appreciate how smoothly it went and how hard they work. I'd like to congratulate also Kathy Galen, who will be Eastpointe's next judge. I think she's got a lot of work cut out for her. The challenges of COVID have been especially hard on the courts, but I know that she'll work hard and do a good job. I'd like to commend everyone who ran for office, whether you prevailed or not. It takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to run a campaign. And I think it says a lot about everyone who ran and how dedicated they are to the community. I'd like to congratulate Sylvia Moore, who will be swearing in shortly here. And I'd like to end by saying I wanted to thank Rob Baker for serving this past year. I think he was always, Mr. Baker, you were always very prepared. It showed at meetings. You were very measured. I think you put a lot of thought into the position, and it reflected well in the city. And I have a tremendous respect for you, and just wanted to say thank you for your service. That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else that would like to speak?
I see Diane Wolkers raising her hand, Mayor.
Oh, good evening, Ms. Wolkers. How are you?
You're muted, Ms. Wolkers.
Good evening, Ms. Wolkers. You're welcome to speak.
She's looking for the unmute button.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. This is my first Zoom. I live in a different century, so. Yes, I'm a business owner in Eastpointe, and I am an alumni from East Detroit High School. I did graduate, we'll say 1979 in gold. It was a special year. My dilemma is this, as I spoke with Madam Mayor today, I was cited for doing some landscaping. And a little background, I came from Grosse Pointe Woods, where the bigger the better, more landscaping, outdo your neighbor, make it an enchantment driving down Mack Avenue. So anyway, the price way too high, $3,500 a month. I'm now paying $2,400 a month, thank you, in Eastpointe. And I was cited for doing some landscaping. So I was unaware. I've been there since 2017. A little background real quick. I am a gym for women, and we closed down in March, as everybody else did. And my business, you know, with the gyms not opening until October, gave me a lot of time. As soon as the gym closed down, I took care of a 20-year companion, and he passed away of pancreatic cancer stage 4, June 1. So with my sorrow, it turned into my next love, which is landscaping. And I collected a bunch of stuff, so I put it in front of the business. And not only did I do my business, but I did the 3 other businesses on my block. And again, because I'm not really familiar with Zoom, if I put up a picture, will that show? As far as, can you see if I do something like this? This is my building. It has lots of cement in front of it. I don't know if you can see that. I have flower pots there from years, you know, of just mums. But what I've done, if again, you can see this is what I had done. I put in some trees and hydrangea bushes. Can you see this, folks? I don't know. I'm the dark brick. That's me on the corner. So to the right of me is a parking lot. And then there's 3 other businesses. So anyway, that little bit that you see in front of you is about $1,200 worth of stuff that I put in. There's actually 6 dwarf trees, white weeping cherries that are almost just about 2 feet less than what they're going to be. And they'll blossom all summer long. Hydrangeas line Mack Avenue. I'm very partial to them, kind of like a pom-pom flower if you're not familiar. And again, they bloom from roughly May to June. Getting to the point, I was told by
30 more seconds, ma'am.
Okay, I was told by the code enforcer that there's no planting in the grass out in front. The ordinance is from 1989. You have to get the DPW's approval. You have to get the police department's approval, Park and Recreation approval, and the building department. And I don't understand, if Gratiot can be beautiful, why can't 9 Mile? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, I did talk to her earlier, and I asked her to, well, I'll probably forward it because I think she emailed me some of those things I asked her for, and look at that policy. That policy was made in 1989. I believe I was 4 years old. I'm telling my age. I was 4 or 5 years old at the time. So, and again, I know we fix up the DDA and we do matching grants for people that is doing what she's doing without a matching grant. And I want to make sure that like she said, not only Gratiot is looking nice, but 9 Mile is too. And if we have business owners that want to put in their own money to enhance our city, and we don't even have to give them a matching grant for it, I don't think they should be fined for that. So maybe we can look at that policy a little bit further, Council and Ms. Doom, and seeing how we can, help her help us. And please, so I'll forward all that information and those photos as well. Thank you again, everybody that attended tonight's meeting. Anybody else in hearing of the public, Mr. DeMonico?
I don't think I see any other hands.
And I definitely want to send it to you, Mr. DeMonico, because you are the liaison of the Beautification Award. So if she's beautifying the city, that might be something you might want to go by and see. Curves is right down the street. I'll forward you the information.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, there was one more person. I don't think Mr. DeMonico's seen her raise her hand. Her name is Teresa.
Hi, good evening. Thank you.
Yes, hi. Good evening, everyone. I moved over here to Eastpointe about 3 years ago, and I love it. I really like everything. The police department are very gracious. The neighbors are good. My only 2 concerns are, the first one is the backyard. When it does rain a lot, the water, I do have like a puddle, a little lake, a little pond in my backyard. I did go to the city county building and talk to someone about it. And they really told me that was really my problem, that I had to take care of that on my own. So I don't know how true that is, but I did go this past summer, and that's what they relayed to me. The second issue that I have is the neighborhood residential lighting. It's very dark on my street. I stay on Latham off of Stevens and Gratiot between 9 and 10, and it's very dark over here. And I really don't see a lot of posting as far as lighting, to light up the area. If it wasn't for my front porch and my neighbor, it'd be so dark, going back and forth down the neighborhood. You can't even see your own self or anyone else walking around. So those are my 2 issues that I have, and hopefully someone can help me with that. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 1, welcome to Eastpointe.
Thank you.
And secondly, you're welcome. Please email us your concerns with your name, address, and those concerns so we can look into it. We actually, I believe it was earlier this year, we got some new lighting throughout the city. I don't know if it's going to be on your street or not, but we have to do some research. But there has been a problem of lighting in our city, so we're going to try to look more into that. But if you can give us your email us those concerns, we'll look further into it as well. Thank you so much for coming to tonight's meeting.
I think you're breaking up.
Yes, ma'am. Anybody else? We're hearing of the public. I'm hearing none.
I don't see anyone.
Okay, thank you. So the second hearing of the public is closed. We are going to start with Councilman DeMonico.
Thanks, Mayor. First, I want to say I talked on the phone to our biggest Shamrock supporter, Dan Zander, and he says hello to everybody. He gave me a call the other day. And then second, I wanted to let you know that the Planning Commission on the Ease project, they, essentially refused to offer an opinion to us. So it is back to us, I guess. They voted to just not give us an opinion, and that went through. Third, let's see, if hopefully we can, Teresa and Diane and Miss Richardson from earlier, If Elke, if you can help coordinate with them and get their issues taken care of, that would be good. So yeah, I look forward to, of course, as everyone knows, we had an election day. Look forward to a peaceful transition of power on January 20th in the country. And I look forward tonight to a peaceful transition of power here in Eastpointe, as everyone came out and said great things about Rob. You've served with integrity for sure, Rob, and I've enjoyed being on city council with you during this time. And I know I still owe you lunch. I know. I knew he'd bring it up if I didn't. So yeah, it's been a great time serving with you. And I'm sure we'll be talking and hanging out in the future after COVID, of course. We'll get that lunch after COVID. And then I'd like to congratulate Councilwoman-elect Sylvia Moore. Look forward to having a meeting with you in a minute here. I know we're 20 minutes late as to the time we posted, but look forward to that. Hope everyone was able to vote and safely vote. And, of course, you're seeing a lot of COVID cases going up lately. So everyone just be careful and, yeah, just be careful out there. I guess that's all I can say. And I think that's all I had, Madam Mayor. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, sir. Councilman Curley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. A couple things. First of all, Rob, my bro, thank you for a year of incredible service to our community. And by the way, I don't know if a lot of you remember or know that Rob was our Grand Marshal for our cruise in Gratiot, and could not have found a better one, because of his daughter wrote a letter about why my daddy should be the Grand Marshal, and it was an incredible letter, and we had an incredible Grand Marshals. Thank you, Rob. Secondly, I would ask that we all pray for peace and healing in our country. The election's over. Let's unite together, and let's hold hands across the world, and things will be better off. And lastly, Sylvia, there she is in the bottom right corner of the thing there. Maybe Carly can do this, but I just got this brainstorm. When she is going to be sworn in, is there some way we got like 29 people on the screen? Carly or whoever, can we blow this thing up and blow Sylvia up, that she would be as big as a screen when she's sworn in? Because you can't see how beautiful she is down there at the corner. But let's get a great big picture of Sylvia.
Yes, if I could, Mr. Curley, I do know, Elke, if you change the view from the gallery view to speaker view, then that should work out. Well, I guess it'll be big while you're speaking, and while she's speaking, it might go back and forth a little, or you might be able to pin her video. Maybe we can test something out before we start, Mr. Curley.
Yeah, we can start. Yeah, let's do it, because I want everybody to see Sylvia. That's it, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go with Mayor Pro Tem, Ms. Lucido.
First, I would like to start out by thanking the Elections Department. I got a lot of compliments on Election Day on how smooth everything went, how nice everything went. I think everyone was really happy. We did have a really, really high turnout, but we got all of our results in before the next morning, which they worked throughout the night to make sure that that could happen. And I appreciate all of their hard work that they put into making this election the success that it was. I also would like to congratulate Miss Galen on being our new judge. I did happen to call her, but when she returned my call, I missed her call. So I'm hoping that within the next week or so, we do have a moment to chat. I look forward to working with her. And I also, wish Carl Gerds the best as he moves into retirement. And then I'd like to congratulate Sylvia Moore and on your win. And we'll have another council chance to speak after our next meeting. So I'll have a little bit more to say too about that at that time. But Mr. Baker, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve with you over the last year. You've always shown a ton of dignity and of respect for our city. All of your efforts and everything that you've done for the city definitely goes, without notice. I appreciate you know, everything that you've done for PACE and Gleaners and be on the Parks Commission. And I hope you stay involved, and I'm sure you will, because I know how dedicated that you have been to the city of Eastpointe, and I don't think you're gonna go away that easily. So, and I'm gonna miss your words of the day, and I'm gonna miss having these council meetings with you, but I also look forward to working with Ms. Moore. And that's all I have this evening, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. We're going to end it, well, it ends with the mayor, of course, but as far as council goes, let Councilman Baker speak.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, to my fellow members of council, it's been great serving with you. Thank you for the kind words. First, I want to say congratulations to Sylvia Moore, the newest member of City Council. Also, congratulations to Kathleen Galen and to everyone who won their respective elections. I'd like to thank everyone who offered their support during this race. Thank you to those who offered kind words and encouragement. I truly appreciate it. My time on City Council has shown me so many things. I personally witnessed people working together for a common goal, even amidst a year of ups and downs. I've met a lot of good people, made strong friendships, and I've had very good conversations with a variety of residents. I want to encourage everyone to continue showing kindness, respect, and compassion for one another. All of these things are free to give, and you'll receive a good return on your investment. Lastly, I'll leave you with my final word of the day, and it's honorific abilitude and Untitled. It is the state of being able to achieve honors. When you operate with honesty and integrity, you'll be known as being honorific abilitude and Untitled. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.
Thank you, Councilman Baker. I would like to say thank you to the election department and our city clerk, Mr. Fairbrother. He did an awesome job, and also the whole election department. He got shirts, he decorated the city, he made a video, he really went out the way. I don't think he's on the video right now. He's probably getting some rest. I don't blame him. But everybody that had a part of it, as well as beyond the department, the election department, everybody that worked well with the city of Eastpointe, I want to say thank you. The police department for making sure the polling areas were nice and safe for residents to go vote. I want to say a huge thank you to them. I want to definitely say congrats to our Eastpointe High School students for working so hard in the games and making Eastpointe look good. And also I want to say congrats to our Councilwoman-elect Moore. I want to also say congratulations to our first woman and our first African-American vice president. I also want to say congratulations to our judge, our new judge in Eastpointe. I also want to say congratulations to the first African-American judge in Harper Woods. It's been a lot of history making and all over the country and our city and all around our neighboring cities as well. We have women and minorities opening doors to make sure that people have a chance at the table. So for those that stepped up and put, their time and their service on the line, I want to say thank you. You guys are really doing it. You're making history, and let's continuously make more history. And I also lastly want to say Happy Veterans Day to all our veterans. It's Wednesday. We will be closed. So I just want to say thank you for your service. And thank you to the families of veterans for supporting them and letting them continuously serve us and help us. It's a lot of veterans that are still volunteering and out in the community, and they just can't stop serving us. So, and also Mr. Councilman Curley, he's a veteran. So I want to say thank you as well to you and those that are listening. So in saying that, lastly, I want to say thank you, Councilman Baker, for your service for this 1 year. And actually, before you was a council person, you actually helped throughout the community before you were a councilman. So, and I think and I believe that after this year, after you step down, you're going to be stepping up. I don't think you ever stepped down, actually. You've always been a part of this community. So I want to say thank you for what you've done. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support.
Moved and supported. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido?
I think Mr. Baker beat me.
Oh,
What?
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico,
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido,
Yes.
Mayor Owens.
Yes. Meeting adjourned. We can actually go right into the next meeting if you guys need a 10-minute or no.
I'm
How
good.
about
I can go
5
right
minutes?
into
How
the next
about,
meeting.
how about 5 minutes?
5 minutes? Let's do 5 minutes. Right now it's 8:30. Let's do 8:35, and I'll see if everybody's back into the meeting.
Okay, and
In
figure
5
out how we
minutes.
can blow Sylvia up.
Yep.
Okay. I think everyone, the people that does have kids, we gotta get them ready for school in the morning. We want to make this as exciting as we can, but we want to move forward because we already started this meeting late. So we got everybody on here. Miss Councilwoman-elect, Miss Moore, are you here?
Yes.
Hi, we're so excited today. Did you guys pick her? I'm so excited. Is her picture looking good? I can't see anything. So
Yes, it does.
If you switch your view in the top right corner, everyone have to do it individually to either pin her video or you can go to speaker view. I'm not sure what you guys have in the top corner of your videos.
Sure, yeah, you can pin it like, yeah, everyone should be able to pin it like you said, Otis. If you pin Miss Moore's video, that'll show the same way as we're recording it right now.
And Mayor Owens?
I have it pinned.
yes, ma'am.
Of course I'm looking good.
Of course. Of course, when you look good, Eastpointe looks good. That's how we always do. Of course.
Always.
Always. I am so proud of you. You guys, Ms. Doom, are you ready to swear Councilwoman-elect Sylvia Moore in so we can stop saying elect and say Councilwoman?
I certainly can. Madam Mayor, would you like to call the meeting to order?
Yes, ma'am. Thank
First
you.
on my agenda here.
Okay, I'm excited. I call to order the Eastpointe City Council special meeting Monday, September 9th, 2020 at 8:37 p.m. We will be starting with the oath of office administered by Ms. Doom, our city manager.
All right. All right, I don't see you, Sylvia. I'm going to look for you here.
It's right below you.
Oh, not on my screen. Hang on, I've got to find her so at least I know who I'm talking to. There she is. Okay, Sylvia, I see you there. Okay, Ms. Moore.
I'm going to stand up.
Well, okay. But now I see you. Okay, Ms. Moore, if you would raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Eastpointe,
and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Eastpointe,
and to endeavor to secure and maintain an honest and efficient administration,
and to endeavor and secure and maintain an honest and efficient administration
of the affairs of the City of Eastpointe,
of the affairs of the City of Eastpointe,
free from partisan distinction or control,
free from partisan distinction or control,
and to perform the duties of councilwoman for the City of Eastpointe according to the best of my ability.
And to perform the duties of councilwoman for the City of Eastpointe according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay! I can't.
You're official.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now we can proudly say, Councilwoman Sylvia Moore, welcome to our family.
Thank you.
We don't get along all the time. We disagree sometimes, but we have a common goal, and that's to make Eastpointe better. And I can say that for all of council. That's our common goal. And sometimes the common goal doesn't always agree with everybody, but our common goal is to see our city strive, and that's what we've been doing. So welcome to the family. Can I do a roll call, please? I'm sorry. You know, before I start that, I'm going to ask you, do you have anything to say before we go into roll call, Ms. Moore?
I would like to say I thank everyone who came out to vote, for anyone, because it was a hard vote this year across the board with everything. But I want to thank everyone. I am honored to do this. I love my city of Eastpointe. I've been here for 20 years, been part of the community, been part of the city hall, and it's just my honor to be able to serve the people of Eastpointe and to, I'm just ready to go. Let's do it.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. We're gonna go ahead with roll call. Ms. Walton, are you still there?
Yes. Councilmember DeMonico?
Here.
Councilmember Lucido?
Here.
Councilmember Curley?
Here.
Mayor Owens?
Here.
Councilmember Moore?
Here.
Thank you. We're going to open up the first hearing of the public at the special meeting. You have 3 minutes. State your name, residency. Do we have anyone that would like to speak?
I see Veronica Kleinfeld, Madam Mayor.
Yes, our County Commissioner, Mrs. Kleinfeld, you're welcome to speak.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to congratulate Councilwoman Sylvia Moore for her election. I look forward to the opportunity to get to meet you and get to know you better. And I'm really confident that you're going to do a good job, and welcome aboard. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Madam Mayor, Michael Kleinfeld is in the chat. He wants to speak.
Oh.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mr. Kleinfeld.
Hi, thank you. I just wanted to say congratulations to Councilwoman Moore again, and say I'm sure the other council members can attest, being on city council can be stressful and a lot of hard work sometimes, but I found it ultimately to be a very rewarding experience, and I hope you find it's the same for you, and I wish you luck going forward in this new chapter.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Don't think I see anyone. Do you see anyone, Sarah?
Nope, I don't see anyone.
Okay, well now the hearing of the public is closed. If you have no new business, we're gonna go straight to mayor and council reports. We're gonna start with Councilman DeMonico again.
All right, thanks, Madam Mayor, and welcome Councilwoman Moore. Got rid of those couple syllables, like you said, Mayor.
Right.
So welcome. It was a pleasure working with you on the Planning Commission as liaison. It was good to get to know you a little there, and coming out to the Getz Park opening and all that. So I look forward to spending some more time with you and yeah, making Eastpointe better with you. So welcome to City Council.
Thank you.
Councilman Curley.
Sylvia, congratulations again. I'm so looking forward to seeing you sitting up there in front of the council table when and if we ever get back there. And I always make it a practice, Sylvia, that I always buy the first lunch or the first breakfast of somebody I get acquainted with. So you got a date and I'll pick up the tab for the first one.
I'm here.
God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Sarah Lucida.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just want to congratulate Ms. Moore. I look forward to working with you. I also hope that maybe we have the opportunity to sit down and chat one day and get to know each other also. I know it's hard right now with COVID, but maybe we can set something up. Also, I would just like to say that I've watched Ms. Moore on the Planning Commission, and I think she was doing an excellent job. So I know that she will be an asset to council, and I look forward to working with her and moving the city and continuing to move the city in the right direction.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman, Ms. Moore, please, I saved you for last.
Well, I just want to thank everyone. It feels like I'm moving from one family to another family, but with welcoming arms. So I thank everyone, and it's just, like I said, it's an honor and a privilege to be able to serve the people of Eastpointe. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I would like to say, again, thanks to everyone that came out and used your voice to vote. And when people use their voice to vote, that means they want more. And when I say more, they meant Sylvia more. So saying that, I want to say, you've been in this city, in this community longer than I have. You've been here 20-something years. You and your kids worked at the elections department. Years ago, your kids went to Eastpointe High School, and it was East Detroit. You have planted so many seeds in this community, and now we see it bloom. And so I want to say thank you for, stepping up and, putting your best foot forward to serve our community. And I am so honored to share a seat at the table with you. So welcome to our family. And saying that, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Mayor, can I mention one thing? Can we go back and add location for everyone for roll call? I think we missed that in the beginning.
Harvey Curley, Eastpointe.
Sarah Lucido, Eastpointe.
Cardi DeMonico, Eastpointe.
Sylvia Moore, Eastpointe.
Mayor Monique Owens, Eastpointe, Michigan. We have motion and support for adjournment. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Curley?
Yes.
Councilmember Lucido?
Yes.
Mayor Owens?
Yes.
Councilmember Moore?
Yes.
Councilmember DeMonico?
And yes.
Meeting adjourned. Again, congratulations. Everyone have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
We'll sue everybody. Goodbye, Sylvia.
Bye.
Night, everybody.